Hi guys, welcome back to another Matchbox Garage video. I'm Rob and today I should be attempting to take this Ford Capri from shabby to shiny. This one, as you can see, well, first thing, the turntable. I've sprayed it like a matte silver. So I've gone from the mirror on the bottom to painting it black to painting it silver. And actually now I can still see there's a couple of little dusty bits, but perhaps you wouldn't have even noticed unless I'd said something. But anyway, let me know what you think about the new colour on the turntable. But yeah, quickly getting back to the casting itself. As you can see, a little bit rough. Spent time in a swamp, I think, and my child, one of my boys, picked it out and said, "Dad, can you paint this one today?" So of course, you can't say no to your little boy, and I got on with it straight away. We actually done one each. He done a Mustang whilst I done this Capri. But yeah, this one has an opening bonnet, and as I drop it here, mud is just popping out the bottom, and that is just only 5% of the mud that comes out of it later on. And like I say, to be honest, we started this one, and my son unfortunately snapped the piece in the hole. So nothing further said about that. We quickly stopped doing this one and concentrated on his own little Mustang. But actually, the result of his Mustang, it reflected in the result of this car today. He wanted to do something to his car that I'd never done before, and so I tried it myself. But yeah, I'm having a bit of trouble removing the base here. The rear, where I drill down the centre of the post, remove the flange. Now, because the 1.6mm drill bit was snapped off in the hole, and it's such a obviously hard metal, I was unable to remove all of the flange. So yeah, a little bit difficult getting that base off, but of course eventually it come. And yeah, just bashing out all the loose dirt, mud. Bearing in mind this car is 50 years old, from 1970. Who knows how old this mud was. Nice little engine detail there. The interior covered in dirt. The original wheels here, will be replacing these today. I've got a green light set which I think look really good on this casting. The plastic retainer there is a little bit broken, but actually it does still do its job. These wheels are going in the spare parts box. The bonnet here, I shan't remove it for painting. That will stay in position. I know that if I do kind of pull those metal tabs apart, it will never go back the way it should. But the main casting here goes into the foot-long hot dog jar, covered in boiling water, and then in comes a tablespoon of caustic soda. Cleaning my spoon there as we go. and giving it a swishy swish. You can actually see the casting here, a lot of reaction already. But we'll put it to one side, let it do its thing. And then we'll concentrate on cleaning up all the plastic parts here, plus the base. Like I say, everything is covered in dirt and mud, and I'm not too sure, you know, how the dirt over the years, sometimes it protects it and sometimes it just eats into it. But on this occasion, the plastic interior there looks good as new. I was thinking that, you know, it would be dull and kind of eaten into and I'd have to paint it, but actually I'm going to leave that. It's survived 50 years, looking good as new. I'll keep it looking as good as new. The base, on the other hand, I suspected that it weren't really going to come up nice and shiny. But reaching for my Dremel here, you'll hopefully have seen my previous video where I polished up the casting. That was just the an attachment still on my Dremel from that. But yeah, giving a little sample, seeing really where this base is going to take us. I can usually tell within the first 10 or 15 seconds whether I'm going to get it shiny, or shiny enough for me, or, you know, wanting to paint it. And usually I would paint the bases in black. You know, if they're not painted in black, I'll polish them up. But today we've done something a little bit different. Not too crazy, but just a little bit different. Here's another one of those polishing wheels from the last video. Reaching for the plastic polish here. We see where this window section is going to be. Obviously I've cleaned it. There is a tiny little crack on it, but there's nothing we can do about that. But I thought before I go any further, let's give it a once over with the plastic polish and see how good or bad it really is, and if further work is required. And I think you can see here that it is covered in lots of tiny, I guess, bash marks, been in probably a box of cars. So reaching for some fine grit sandpaper, we try and take down some of those scuff marks from over the years. I think she's quite nice and smooth now. And then we'll go back to the plastic polish here. And I'll show you the first go over, and I'll go over it 2 or 3 times. And I think they'd agree that's looking better. And like I say, with another go over that, it really does come up quite nice. We're using the matte silver for the engine piece here. What I do once this is dried, I go over it with the Nuln oil, just to kind of bring out some of the detail. And then once that are dried, gone over some of the engine pieces with chrome. So there's the buffed out base, but still looking rather weathered. And using the same matte silver, I'm going to paint this base also. And then what I've done, again using the Nuln oil for the front around the headlights and the grille, and then coming back with a little bit of colour. Can you believe I just dropped it there? But thankfully on the side and I hadn't even painted that little bit yet, so no harm done. We can move on. Actually looks really good, just painted silver. Some castings come like that anyway, not necessarily this Capri, but so it's not unusual. So the Capri's probably been in the caustic solution for 20-25 minutes. We don't have 100% paint removal today, which is a bit of a shame, but we're probably in the early 90s, 92, 93%. So we'll take the remainder off with the Dremel, but to give you a little sample of polishing the bonnet or the hood here. After I buffed this up, I went over it with 1200 grit sandpaper, ready for the paint. Now, like I say, my son painted his car with this candy, and he wanted a green and blue mix, and didn't really understand, you know, he's only a youngster, to put it in a pot and mix it together and then pour it into the cup. He just squirted the green in, followed by the blue on top, as you can see here, and it made for a really interesting kind of depth of colour. It was almost like a chameleon, which hopefully you will see in the turntable. As you can see here, made some extra effort with the 1200 grit, and also kind of sanded it in one direction. But I'm going to quickly blow over it, just so that there's kind of I guess a base coat. I'll let that flash off before coming on with a much thicker coat afterwards. And I must admit, I pushed the wrong button, and usually I would kind of, you know, build up the car before the reveal, and I managed to push the button after, and yeah, totally missed. I was filming the ceiling. But anyway, here's a little reminder of what you look like. And this is the result. I love this colour. You know, it's straight over the bare casting, so of course you're going to have, or do see, some of the imperfections there. Those wheels, don't they suit? Coming around the rear, just a little bit of red on those rear lights, but it's so dark. You can actually now see through the window section. You can see the bright white interior. I think these wheels, I'm not too sure where they're from. Like I say, they're a green light package. Probably from a Chevy or old Ford, something like that. But I think really suit this casting. And then around the front, just a nice little bit of detailing. I really like this one, and I hope you guys do too. But anyway, massive thanks to my patrons. Thanks again, guys. Do get, you know, commenting, liking, subscribing. Obviously, 2,000 likes. This one, oh yeah, it could be yours. See you soon, guys.